Now.
Yeah, let's do that. So, question of the day, again around VBS, but a different angle. So here we go. What are your views on the Bavenda King, Tony Mpepo Ramabulana, offering to return the gifts he received if they are found to have been given under questionable circumstances? So he came out yesterday, he had a lot to say about this. He says, I irrevocably offer to repay any amount which will be shown to have been proceeds of illegalities in the report as soon as they are computed, and am directed where the repayment must be made and the terms of such repayments. He went on to say that he always receives donations from several people and as such deemed them to be legitimate, untainted and bona fide. So that's what he has to say.
It's an interesting one, because the question also remains whether all of the money that he received that is in any way connected to VBS was received as gifts, or whether there were other transactions involved as well.
Yeah, very interesting one. So, yeah, saying that he is going to give them all back and he's got no problem with that. So, all right, well, there you have it. Let's have a look at the stories of the day now, the big stories of the day that will be coming up and focusing our attention on. So let's have a look.
Right, a 32-year-old man, the latest suspect allegedly linked to the murder of Heather Peterson of Westbury, as well as the attempted murder of the deceased child last month, will appear in court.
The case against a man accused of fatally shooting his teenage son after he mistook him for a robber has been postponed to the 16th of August in the Lenasia Magistrates Court south of Johannesburg. I'm a little bit confused about that. Okay, Sibusiso Chabalala is charged with the murder of his son Luyanda. Chabalala shot his son as he tried to get into the car. We'll have to just look at the date there. You know which
story this is? The one of the father in Ennerdale who was waiting for his child in the car at the school.
Postponed to the 16th of August?
Yeah, the date.
Yeah, the date is a problem.
The date.
So we'll just look into that one. So I'm not too sure what's going on there.
And then in Parliament, National Treasury and the South African Reserve Service will brief the Finance Committee on their annual reports. And this is the Auditor General reported last week that National Treasury posted irregular expenditure to the tune of 770 million rand, making them one of the top offenders. And President Cyril Ramaphosa will also deliver a keynote address at a youth conference in Stellenbosch. The Accelerating Inclusive Youth Employment Conference will be attended by senior leaders from business, government and the social sector.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the trending topics now. The Omathosa trial. Watching this Omathosa trial. Yesterday was not a very nice day for the trial, though, yesterday, I must say. Watching, and also Cheryl Zondi trending as well, and she is this brave young woman who's taken to the stand, and yesterday the questioning and the line of questioning that she had to endure, I just think any woman who is sitting on a trial like that and being asked questions with a cross-examination, it was terrible, to say the least. And I think people, especially on social media, were going insane about this.
Absolutely, but you see, it speaks to our empathy in this situation. Our empathy with the alleged victim, see?
Yeah, I mean, just some of the questions were, I mean, I don't even want to talk about them, I really don't.
No, it was hectic.
No, it was very
hectic in the extreme. To a point where the judge had to intervene.
Yeah.
I remember, there was one question when he was asking her, and if you have children in the room, just close their ears for a second. He asked her, so was there penetration?
Yeah,
and he says, how many centimeters?
I mean, what kind of question is that? I know. What kind of question is that? And then another instance was like, what happened afterwards? Did you go back to having a jolly time?
Yes.
Did you girls always have a jolly time? But very condescending towards the.
He almost seemed to suggest that they knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And this is why they didn't put up any sort of resistance or anything like that. But Cheryl Zondi is a stellar witness.
Yeah.
But how many women, how many rape survivors have the character of a Cheryl Zondi?
I mean, Cheryl was 14 years old at the time.
She was 14 when this happened.
And still having to go through this. And I was actually discussing this a bit earlier, is that if I was a victim of rape and I had to be watching how this cross-examination was taking place, this would almost prevent me from wanting to come forward. And,
oh, definitely.
I mean, I don't know if I could be as strong as Cheryl is, sitting there and enduring criticism, and it felt like criticism to a certain extent. But yeah, that was the story.
Secondary victimization in this instance.
Terrible. So anyway, that was yesterday, and I think that was a massive trending topic. And then I had to laugh. After all the doom and gloom you're reading in the news, there's and finally, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are pregnant. And they're at a zoo holding koala bears and being all happy, and that's such a nice, fuzzy, happy story. So thank goodness.
And always, as we are as South Africans, there are those who say, oh, so here we are, all excited about Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
We never break the news that any of our royals in South Africa are pregnant.
Yeah. Did you have to bring that up? I was more interested in the koala bears and at the petting zoo in Australia. I thought that was very sweet.
But you know what? I like them as a couple.
Very
I've
cute,
always liked Harry as one of the royal family, so I'm very happy for them.
I think so. It is fantastic. So there you go. They are pregnant. So happy days are here again. And then Vander King, we know about that. That's our
statement
question
that he released.
And it's our question of the day as well. Okay.
Right, so that concludes your top stories and also what's trending at this point this morning. But of course, you want to know what the roads look like before you venture out. So let's find out from Rob Byrne. Morning, Rob.
Yes, good morning, SK. Good morning, South Africa. Yeah, let's take you around, show you the rails and all the transport information you need to know. Let's start in Cape Town. It is day 2 of the My City bus strike. We can confirm this. So there's the list up there of the routes that are suspended, that are non-operational. What is there? Must be about a quick glance to over 20 routes across Cape Town that are not operating. Very similar to what it was yesterday in terms of the service that is operational. So very few My City buses running. It is day 2 of a driver strike, a wildcat, illegal driver strike, but it is having a quite a significant impact on that My City bus. And keep in mind, My City bus across Cape Town is a very popular service indeed. All right, this is something we showed you yesterday as well, and this is still on the go. Day 2 of protesting out in Mpumalanga. It's the N4 route that is closed around the Vatvol-Boven area. So basically between Crossroads and the Vatvol-Boven tunnel, that section of the N4 is closed down. It has been all night, remaining closed this morning. So Schoemanskloof is the alternative route. If you're coming from Bombela, just be aware of that, because if you come through Bombela and down through Montrose on your way to Vatvol, I'm not quite sure how you're sort of going to get around that. So in from Bombela, make sure you're taking Schoemanskloof until this protesting has been sorted out. Quite a big heavy queue going to Durban this morning. There's been a truck crash. It's blocking the N3 southbound down by Tugela River. If you have a look at the insert we put there, a serious crash, 2.5 hours worth of queuing traffic in that Ladysmith area. So if you're waiting for someone to arrive in Durban that's been travelling overnight, they could well be significantly delayed this morning on that section of the N3 South. And just getting this in, this is breaking this morning. We saw protesting yesterday at Zandspruit. Janitas again saying, yeah, it's on again this morning. So Beyers Nordia, Peter Marina, those roads are blocked off in that Zandspruit area. It will have an impact pushing traffic onto local alternative routes and jamming you up through the Honeydew area. So again, day 2 of the protesting out in Zandspruit. A lot of things repeating this morning on the traffic front. All right, that's the latest look at the situation around the country. Let's get a weather update, see how